Yo, this Sesko, who this?
What's up, Red Phone fam? It's your girl Aries, and yes, I'm back with Found episode 11 with that good old recap and review. I know it's definitely delayed, but what I was thinking was going to end up happening was that episode 12 was going to come out, and I was going to do them both, all in the same time. But now that I'm seeing the episode 12, the series ain't returning until January 9th, and we have two more episodes. Was that first thinking episode 12 was going to be the last one, but we got two more. And also, it took me a minute because episode 11 was not giving what I was expecting it to give. You know that I was hyped when I did the trailer prediction and reaction video for episode 11. And I'm not going to front. It definitely did not fulfill my every need and desire when it came to my expectations. But nonetheless, go ahead on and like up the video. We about to get into it. We're not going to be down here for too long. But yes, I got y'all on that recap. So we start off with Gabi demanding that Sir tell her what happened to Annie. Sir is like, you know what, Gabi, I thought you were above, like suspending my food options, starving me out. And Gabi was like, well, you forced my hand. And Sir tripped me out when he gonna have the nerve to say, don't make me force mine. Well, exactly what leverage, exactly what power, Sir, do you think that your delusional behind has in this situation? So, he claims that he didn't kill Annie. He claims that he simply bought a red ribbon to scare Gabi into staying in place and kind of just leaving that fantasy and that delusion of someday being free of his raft, out of his abduction. But he claiming that he didn't kill her. And we just like, boy, you lying. She about to go call Trent and find out what's going on with her old cold case. And that old cold case is Annie's, basically. She wants to know, she's getting Trent involved on Annie's case to find out what happened to her, okay? This triggers Gabi to go into a flashback back to the first day that she was abducted and taken to a quote-unquote secret boutique type of library because Sir basically played upon Gabi's love for literature to drag her down here, okay? Just like ooh, scandalous man. Gonna use what you love, child, to manipulate. Yeah, so he did that. And Gabi was explaining that, you know what, where are we exactly? Because I got a little bit turned around on my way down here. How do you, I couldn't live all the way out here. How do you do it? So I don't know if she knew that she was at his house specifically, or if she thought that this was like a bookstore. But yeah, Gabi got on that phone, called her dad, told him she was on a field trip, child. Like she felt comfortable with Sir. She really did. And it just really made me sad to see how dangerous he was being a teacher. Sir, oh my God, he just is like every predator. He put himself in the position to have access to his fantasy and his need and his desire. Like just like all the people that are getting me too'd on right now, Diddy and whoever else. Like, yeah, these motherfuckers put themselves in a position to have what they desire at their fingertips. So creepy and cringy. So next we get into our girl Margaret. Our girl Margaret is still going to therapy. Shout out to her. She said, you know what? I went to the bus station an hour late. I think I'm doing good. I'm thinking that the therapist going to say, yeah, and you can start going like half an hour. Like cut down to half a day now. Try that as the next step. Baby, why that therapist tell Margaret, stop going altogether already? And Margaret is not ready to hear that. She's not ready to let it go, Elsa. So she got up and packed up her things. Next, we finally get our next case. And this is Brandon's family, y'all. A missing black man. He's military soldier that's gone missing. And at the end of it all, he appears to be, what it all boils down to is that he appears to be on the wrong end of a missing white woman. So Brandon ended up going missing the same day that a white woman ends up going missing too. And the thing is, baby, the gag is that Brandon had a text going to said white woman. Now, we don't know how they connected, but you know, Gabby gonna put Zeke on the job and Zeke gonna get down to the bottom of it. Gabby said, treat them both like victims, treat them both like suspects, and I want their last 24 hours. Zeke, do what you do. Meanwhile, Gabby goes down to the PD to enlist the help of Trent. Boy, when you get your badge back, I'm confusion. Did y'all just gloss over something for, like real quick, real sneaky like? Because when did you get your badge back? I thought you was going to have to tell on Gabby. Okay, rat her out on the fact that she stole that flash drive. I thought that was going to happen or have to happen before you got your badge back. But now all of a sudden you sitting up in here at a desk. So anyway, y'all, I'm just saying, because they be really trying to play on our face for a few things. But Trent back in the office nonetheless, and Gabby is down here to use her good old resource once again. Only thing is, this time around, Trent is looking at Brandon like the suspect. And he's like, look, I got a reason to be looking at him as an ops right now because do you know what he was texting? I don't know what the girl name is that's missing right now, y'all. I'm looking down at my notes. I'm sure Allison. Okay. The girl that's missing, Allison had text from Brandon and she was telling him, I don't want to hear from you. Stop texting me. I don't want to talk to you no more. So we got to talk to her mom because her mom just did a press conference and basically pointed the narrative that Brandon is, a predator, basically, that he's a suspect. He's the one that has caused her daughter to go missing. So we got vigilantes to be worried about that could be trying to harm Brandon, and we don't fully know what the deal is. So Trent and Gabby meet up with Allison's mom after she held her little press conference where she painted Brandon as the victim. As we said, we don't know what's tea right now, but I feel the mom at this point because it's not looking good. Okay, if we just gonna like call a thing, it looks like Brandon was stalking and then snatched up Allison. Okay, so no, I'm not gonna let you guys work her case and try to find her because y'all ain't gonna be doing nothing but digging up dirt. And so Gabby said, she went on and told the crew, like, she said, I don't want to let y'all on the case because I don't want y'all to be digging up dirt, which means there's dirt to be dug up. So Gabby tried to get her a little quick press conference real quick. And little did she know they was going to have a special guest in here. And he's some type of, I don't know, like right wing type of supporter type of guy, I'm assuming. The way that and if that's an insult to anybody, look, if the boots fit, buy one in every color because that's just the kind of vibration that he was giving. Okay, but he said that Brandon was on camera at a Walmart basically buying a knife and a rope. And I was just like, okay, I mean, he is in the military, though. Maybe he was going on a hike. To me, y'all was going to need more of a smoking gun, but it's not looking good for Brandon. It is just getting worse and worse and worse. That just goes to show you, baby, if you got that black card, it ain't going to take much for them to get the hounds on you. And that's a fact. So as a last ditch effort, we try to reach back out, swing back around to Brandon's mom. Margaret, she gonna do her detailed thing. So she's picking up on the vibe that the mom was holding something back. And it's the fact that the mom feels like Brandon and Allison were dating. She was scared to say something, I guess, because she wanted Brandon to have a black woman so that they can bond on their struggles through life. And basically that's why she up in here crying and saying that she didn't want to say nothing, but she feel like that's the case and that she know that it's not looking good for her son because he's a black man. So then we go ahead on and we get on our socials. This is Zeke doing his handiwork. And Zeke is finding out that basically all of the friends online is Team Robert. Now, Robert is Allison's actual boyfriend. I think I might have missed to add him in there, but yeah, he claimed everything was great when Dawn and Gabi rose up on him. Of course, he claimed everything was great. So they end up bringing him down to the precinct to interrogate him on, just again, and end up finding out that he sent the text from Allison's phone to Brandon because he wasn't going to let her mess up a good thing. They get to pressing him about Brandon, talking about if you did anything to them, this could be a hate crime. And he like, boy, I didn't even know Brandon was black. So, he probably extra mortified at this point. He ready to go. Allison, you ain't got to worry about getting away from this man because, like they say, once you go black, you can't go back. Robert ain't gonna want you no more, child. It's cool. So, but this all triggered Gabi to going into a flashback of Sir pretty much trying to make a decision to abduct Gabi because he felt like she was about to do something to ruin her life because she had a crush on another student. Okay, that right now in the episode, he's thinking like, oh, he looks like somebody we know. That kid you had a crush on. And is that why you're going so hard for him? And in this scene where Certain snatched Gabby's backpack all off of her shoulder, going through it and flipping pages in her notebook, why is his crazy behind thinking that because she drew hearts in the initials HE that she was talking about Hugh Evans? And it ended up being some damn Heather something something. When I tell you that the delusion was real, look at Gabby's face. She looking like, this man is crazy. Oh my God. I know Gabi was thinking like, should I try to swing on him? Should I try to run? Like, what should I do? So y'all, we end up meeting with the one and only friend that Allison confided in. And this friend tells us that, yeah, I knew about Allison and Brandon. She found her person. That's what she told me. And that they was going someplace special, somewhere that they were going camping. And that gets Gabby's wheels to turning. So we called down Alice's mom and Brandon's mom and dad come down there. We gonna put our heads together whether y'all like it or not to find these kids. Okay, that's what type of time Gabi is on. Really standing true to still treating them both as victims. So the parents pull up and we going over the details. Something strike a chord with Allison's mom and she's like, oh my God, yeah, my husband proposed to me in Sandy Springs Cliff, and that's where they're headed. That's where we should go and look. So, they end up packing up their things and they go down there. And the mom is coming to the conclusion like, wow, my daughter really was liking this black man. Okay. And so they find him. That's what the string and the rope, that's what the rope and the knife was for. Didn't I say it was probably going on a hike? Okay. And true enough, they was going on a hike and something happened. Allison ended up falling. Brandon, being the nurse that he is, end up putting some type of tube from him to her. His blood is keeping her alive. He ends up saving her life, and it wasn't looking good for her. But as you can see here, this is Allison's mom coming across the bed when she, once they find out that everything's okay with them both, they both gonna survive. She came in there. She was like, Allison, you could have told me. You could have told me. You could have told me you liked the black man. Clearly she couldn't have. Okay. Clearly she felt like that was not an option. Okay, but the mom went around there to that side of the bed and thanked Brandon for saving her daughter. And I was like, okay, now you and Allison can bond about that black guy she had a crush on in 1976 that she thought was going to be your daddy for real. Okay, y'all, I'm just kidding. I couldn't resist. So the crew gets back to the headquarters and they grooving, they celebrating because they got another case found. Okay, this time was a double whammy. And Trent came over. Sorry, Lacey, for this picture. I didn't know it was that blurry, honestly. But Trent came over to tell Gabi about the cold case. Meanwhile, our girl Margaret is pacing the hole into the floor. Okay, so she did the best that she could, but Margaret just wasn't to that point. She feels really bad about what happens to her child, who wouldn't? But it is something that she is really struggling to just let go altogether. She still has to keep out hope because, I mean, if not, then what else is she doing? That's where Margaret is coming from. So Gabby goes with her to her next therapy session to help her forgive herself. And it was a very emotional and touching moment. Shout out to Margaret. I hope she get the daytime, the prime time Emmy, the Golden Globe, the SAG. We ain't getting no Oscar. But I really do hope that these actors, that at least Margaret and little Gabby go home with some type of nomination, if not the full out win. So after it's all said and done, and Margaret let Gabby know, like, look, you always there for everybody. Whenever you ready to just break down, child, because we know you holds it all in. Whenever you ready, baby, I got you. I will be there for you the same way that you be there for me and everybody else. And I'm like, okay, Margaret, don't hold your breath because really, you might need to get ready from the way that things is looking in episode 12. But nonetheless, Gabby gets back to the house and she calls Trent. And she wants to find out if Sir was lying. Trent lets Gabby know that Annie died in a car accident 2 years ago. And Gabby's just in disbelief. She's like, no, no, no. You mean like in 2003, right? And he's like, no, I'm looking at it right now, Gabrielle. And so Gabby is like, so Sir was telling the truth? And he's like, what do you mean Sir is telling the truth? I gotta go. And she hang up and go downstairs to Sir, looking all, I don't know, weird, and Sir is like, let me guess. You found out that I was telling the truth. And she basically confronts Sir with the fact that you end up convincing Annie's parents that she was crazy because Annie was committed. She also found that out from Trent. Annie's family committed her to a mental institution when she came back, either talking about her own abduction. I'm sure that she was telling the parents like that it was she done got kidnapped by Mr. Evans, and right now Mr. Evans is holding another student there, and Hewden convinced her parents that she was crazy. And for that, Gabby is on your ass. So Gabby pick up the phone and he getting all scared, and he really shaking in his boots because Gabby say, hey, come over. I need to tell you something about Sir. And at the time of me watching this episode, I thought she called Trent. But we find out that it was not. Okay, was I the only one that thought that Gabby called Trent right back? Because she was just talking to him, it kind of just made me assume that, I came to that conclusion. But when I tell y'all that I'm bringing that episode 12 trailer, and we gonna react and predict to that a little bit later on today, so stay tuned. In the meantime, drop down in the comments and let me know that you was in the building. Okay, and let me know what you thought about this episode. What did you like? What are you looking forward to? With 2 more episodes to go. Okay, we got 12 and 13. I was only thinking we were getting at 12, y'all, but we got 2 more episodes, and man, it looked like a lot going on. So, yeah. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Yo, this Sesko, who this?